Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is RIZKY.
My name is FERA SARTIKA ATAN.
Hello, my name is ANANDITO BARAMAYASI.
My name is HOSEA ALDRI.
My name is ELGRATIO LATUIHAMALLO.
My name is RIZKY AMANATAMA.
Hello, my name is TOPIK.
And my name is TOPIK.
And today we're going to deliver a presentation about video game controversies. Hello everyone, my name is RIZKY, and today I'm going to explain to you about the history behind the controversy. Now, when we're talking about the effects of video games on people, there has been a lot of assumptions. The idea that video games has been affecting people's minds and making them more violent has been around. In fact, there is a lot of recent cases that actually amplify the thoughts. For example, in December 14, 2012, a man named Adam brutally shot 27-year-old children and injured 6 staff members. Now, he is reported to be obsessed with video games, and the media actually shot him in that way. And then there is a case of the Norway shooter, Anders Behring, which he actually murdered 77 people and injured hundreds more by bombs and shootings. Now, the problem is that this man is reported to actually be an avid World of Warcraft player before he switching to Call of Duty. Now, he claimed that he learned to shoot rifles by playing Call of Duty, which is actually a bad press for the gamers community. And finally, there is a case of James Holmes, which is an Aurora shooter, where he shot dead 14 people and injured 70 more. Now, the problem about this news is that James Holmes was reported to actually like the violent video games and movies, and he also reportedly being dressed up as Joker during his shootings. Ladies and gentlemen, there are of course a lot of unmentioned cases here where people murder others because of thoughtfully like video games. But in order for us to actually find facts, we need to base our thoughts on facts instead of our own opinions. In case of the shooters, they are actually on the range of the active video game players, while the range actually coincides with the range of 18 to 25, where people actually get a lot of mental issues. So there is a lot of problems here on the thoughts, because there are millions of other players out there who are actually playing this kind of violent video games, and they never go on a killing spree. Now, which puts a lot of those people, in fact millions of people, as a scapegoat. Now, which is why we need to restate the facts, and then you yourself can judge whether actually this is true or not. Now, my friends after me will going to deliver a lot of arguments about this thing.
Okay, so now I'm going to tell you several facts about violence and video games. Common sense and number studies all refute the claim that there's a link between violence and video games. Playing video games for violence is not more productive than playing video games for bringing violent crimes into our homes night after night. And here are some facts about it. Violent crime, especially among young people, has decreased significantly during 1990s. And it is exactly what one would expect if there were a causal link. Most games with violent crimes sold in the USA are also sold in foreign markets. However, the level of violent crime in these foreign markets are considerably low. It is lower than in the USA, in fact. The truth is, there is no scientific research that validates a link between narcotic games and violent crimes. Instead, a background of personality, availability of gun, and other factors are more relevant understanding of any cause of crimes. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is ANANDITO, and I would like to talk about should video game ratings be more strict. First, I would like to talk about what is an age rating system in games. Age rating system acts as an informative aid to show at a glance if a game is suitable for a younger age or not. The main problem is many parents choose to ignore it. One of the reasons is when we, as a child, always bring something that our friends have. So we say to our parents that, well, my friends have it. The second reason is children and teenagers now can buy relatively and anonymously from online shops like Steam, PlayStation Network, and Xbox Live, which with a less level censorship and the appropriateness of the game ratings. We, as a parent, should not ignore these egg ratings. The lack of regard from the egg rating will only lead to desensitization of children, leading them to make violent things. And another, if we allow our children to play violent games, then we are as the same as allowing them to do drugs and something that is bad. So the egg rating is there for a reason. Do not ignore it. That's it from me.
Thank you, Dito. Now let me explain to you about the video game ratings from the eyes of the developer. You may not realize this, but a piece of game is considered as an art. The game itself represents how the game developer sees the world as a human being. Every game developer realizes what they're doing with their game. If the game developer wanted to show how bad a war can be, they need to show the cruelty of it. And one of the ways to show it is through violence, but in such a way where people who understand the game realize that violence is such a bad thing to do. Now, to make sure that the video game developer's message delivered to the right person in the right way, the rating system is created. The problem is that we as a consumer don't really care about the rating system itself. A 10-year-old boy could have an adult rating game because his parents doesn't really care what he played. And when the boys do something bad, they use the game as a scapegoat. After we really understand the game as a piece of art, that's when the rating system boosts the game purpose by maintaining the game in the right track so that the game could reach the right person that the game needs to reach. And if we make the game ratings more stringent, it's like we put the game developer in a cage where they cannot express themselves as an artist and also as a human. So the point of this argument is that a video game is a way of someone to express themselves as a human. And if we put more strict rules to it, a game cannot be a genuine piece of art, and it lost the true meaning of the game itself. Thank you. That's all I have to say about my part.
I will explain about the responsibility of video games. So many parents have put blame on video games because of the kids is still obsessed with video games, starting acting like they are in the game. For example, like in GTA they are some shooting, or in Call of Duty they just playing war with their friends. But what parents don't know that they don't have responsibility to the kids. We know some of the parents don't even like video games or playing something in the arcade. But they don't even care about their own kids. They just only care for their own responsibilities. For example, like a parent just go to the game store with a child, but his or her child actually trying to buy a violent game, except like Mortal Kombat, there's a blood on it. And the parents is trying to accept it and the kids just keep playing and playing and playing. Their kids actually try to kill someone like in the game, and their parents start to blame the kids, start to blame the video game, sorry, but they don't actually know, but it's actually the parents' fault. Why do they even let the kids to buy a game that's rated 80+? This actually already gone to the news. So in the news, they already said that the police will arrest any parents that allow any kids to play a violent video game. So that actually helps, but still many parents still think that is not good. Actually thinks that they're not wrong.
Hello, my name is William. Today I'm going to explain about why it's parents' responsibility to supervise their children, especially when playing video games. Parents play an important role as manager of their children's opportunities, monitor of their life, and social initiator and ranger for them. One of the most important tasks for parents at their childhoods and adolescence is developing their children's ability to make competent decisions in an increasingly independent manner. A key aspect of the managerial role of parenting is effective monitoring, which is especially important as children move to adolescent years. Monitoring includes supervising and regulating choice of social settings, activities, and friends. When their children are playing video games, it's their responsibility to supervise and educate them about what video games suits their ages. Nowadays, the problem is that most parents don't care about what their children play and even introduce violent games in their children. The problem only gets worse when parents start complaining and blaming video games after their children become violent. Meanwhile, some states in the USA ban minors for playing violent or sexually explicit video games. So who is at fault? The parents, the children, or the game producer, or even the government? But I don't know, but in the conclusion, parents need to provide the last protection when external environments fail to protect their children. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Hello, my name is HOSEA and I'm going to explain to you how the society views on violent video games. As a society, do we unfairly blame video games when we should be focusing on personal responsibility? Yes, we do. Is it right to blame them? No, it's not. Now, why do we blame them? Now, let me give you a premise. Your best friend is a big fan of Call of Duty, and you see him play Call of Duty all day. He doesn't go to school, and all you see him is actually gets angry all the time. When you see that, you will blame to the nearest available medium, and that is his video game, the Call of Duty. Now, the problem is, it's not the game that needs to blame. There are many other factors such as family relationship, mental state, and self-esteem. Now, because of this, there are many publication bias on research about the link between violent video games and personal behavior. Now, my friend FERA is going to explain it to you about some studies to see if publication bias is occurring.
Today I'll be talking about studies to see if publication bias is occurring. In 2007, Dr. Christian Ferguson published a meta-analysis of the studies of violent behavior and violent games. He found out that there's no link between violent behaviors and violent games, but there's a link between violent thoughts and violent games. Researchers conducted a study using 6,578 8th-grade students. The study is to test whether there's a causal between playing violent games and violence behavior, non-violent defense, and substance use. The results indicate that the association between video games and behaviors becomes smaller. Sticks and empirical studies. To strengthen his research, he gathered 103 young adults to play non-violent game, a violent game with the bad guy as the main character, and violent game wherein the good guy as the main character. Those who were playing violent games had fewer hostile feelings during the frustration test. Researchers conducted a study of 6,567 8th graders. This study is to test whether there's a causal link between violent behavior and violent games. The results indicate that the association between violent behavior and violent games becomes smaller. In 2012, Sweden found 161 manuscripts describing 106 empirical studies. Out of the 116 empirical studies, 71 were lab studies about how video games affected behavior. 23 of them were cross-section surveys, and 12 remaining were longitudinal in nature on surveys collecting data repeatedly over years. They found that the research was flawed, and there's no connection between violent behavior and violent video games. Now my friend HOSEA will summarize this section.
In conclusion, violent video games do not cause behavior problems. There are many other factors such as family issues, self-esteem, or maybe mental issues. But violent video games is just the nearest available medium to be blamed on by society. As a society, we need to focus more on our personal responsibility other than blaming video games. Parents are the one who's responsible for what their kids are playing, so parents should give more attention towards the video game ratings and also give more attention towards their kids. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.